Scott. See you again soon. A bill going through Congress seeks to repeal fully the controversial death tax. It has support in the House. It's going to have a rough time making through the Democrat-controlled Senate, however. But with us now is Pat Boone. You know Pat Boone. He's the spokesman for the 60-plus organization, big supporters of this bill to kill the death tax. Mr. Boone, may I call you Pat? I'm, you know.
Oh, you know. Yeah, please, my dad is not here. Please call me Pat.
Okay. You know, look, a lot of people who watch this program, myself included, big supporters of getting rid of estate taxes. Just get rid of them. And I can make the argument that you're going to make. Got it. But, you know, it's not going to happen with this administration, is it? You have to admit that.
No. You may know Jim Martin, my partner, and the founder of 60 Plus, the conservative alternative. We're a locomotive. We're over 7 million seniors. And I came out of the closet a few years ago and admitted I am a senior. And Jim Martin made me the spokesman for 60 Plus. Seniors voted over 20% points for Romney in 2012. They know that this economy, this economic policy of the current administration is ruinous to them. And now we have 218 congressmen, co-sponsors of Kevin Brady's bill to repeal the death tax, to kill it forever, to abolish it, not just reduce it, but abolish it. And that's enough. The co-sponsors, it will pass in the House, and then it goes to the Senate. Now, Senator John Thune is leading the pack there. And in this election year, where so many of the congressmen, Senate and House, haven't ever voted. It's been 9 years since we voted on the death tax. And now, in this election year that's heavily going against the Democrats and against liberal economic policies, this is the year when we can stomp the death tax out.
Okay.
And I quote Jim Martin. He says, no family should have to visit the tax man and the undertaker on the same day. The death tax is criminal. It's corrupt. It's criminal.
Let's suppose you get it. Let's suppose the death tax is gone. That will be very unpopular in the accounting profession because they make a great deal of money trying to get people around the death tax. The tax lawyers, they're going to be really upset, and so too are the life insurers. Because a lot of people buy life insurance because you get the benefit on your passing away and it's not part of the estate. It's tax-free. A lot of people use that. So you've got some very powerful groups opposed to repealing the death tax.
That's the way it always is with every tax. There are taxes that benefit certain groups, and of course they stump for those, and they put the pressure on Congress. Sometimes it's the congressmen themselves who are benefiting personally, as we know. And I just realized something, what even Jim Martin hasn't said to me. He made me aware that we are the third largest country in the world, that is in terms of death tax. Now, the big countries like China, Russia, India, Mexico, Sweden don't impose the death tax. Now, isn't that odd? They've got their wealthy people. They don't have a middle class. And it is the middle class that pays this tax. It is farmers, it's business, small business, it's widows who have to sell houses, farms, businesses to pay the death tax because their mate had the bad judgment to die. And death should not be a taxable event. I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Just for 1 second. You're going to pass it in the House. Got it. Guaranteed. It will pass in the House. Then it goes to the Senate, and I'll guarantee that Senator Reid doesn't even take it up. It's not even going to be That's the problem.
visible.
Even though he is verbally, he's said, oh yeah, we've got to do something about this death tax. Like he says about immigration reform and so many things. Oh yes, we've got to do something about it. And then he never does because they have their powerful lobbying interests. They've got to please their they're not their constituents. Their constituents, including seniors, 70% of Americans, period, are opposed to the death tax, but those aren't the people that Harry is representing. He's representing special interests that pay for his campaigns.
Pat Boone, it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. It's great to see you, sir. You look terrific.
Thanks for letting me spout. And listen, God bless you, Stu. You're a voice of sanity and reason. We've got to have more people like you.
Just a poor immigrant, fresh off the boat, and I understand that I'm told in my ear, you know, they're in my ear, you just turned 80, is that correct?
Yeah, just had a big celebrity roast blowout at the Beverly Hilton, and they were very kind to me, really, but we had a big blowout called the Pat Boone Celebrity Roast. 80, yeah.
Incredible.
It startles me, but somebody said, well, what's the best part about turning 80? I said, being alive and being vertical. I appreciate both.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Pat Boone, everybody. 80 years old. No one will believe that. Nobody. Great to have you, sir. Thanks a lot.